lovelies, Bradley Drug Fox here. Uh, I actually want to continue with my other what ifs instead of sticking into one what if. Because basically, how one YouTuber said, if you stay on one what if for too long, you might get bored of the story. And I really don't want to do that to a good story and process, so I'm gonna switch over towards the SCP 2295 what if that I made. Okay, so basically, people were having problems trying to figure out what I meant, so I'm gonna try to show a picture of what I mean. Okay, everybody, this is how Roscoe looks like. So, if some people got confused and wonder who was I talking to, or I can't speak today. Great. Who was I talking about? This is Roscoe. And this is what I think Deku would mainly turn into. I'll show the picture on screen and I hope it could solve on what you guys are thinking. So let's go back to... Okay, basically where we left off is where Deku shrinks down into his more huggable state. And his family was there, like, called on the scenes because he was boom, all that in a snap. So he was basically told not to do that again and apologized towards the people he hurt. But when Deku tried to tell the police and heroes, like, these are low class heroes, not to the point where they're Mr. Aizawa's level, but lower. I don't think I know for a fact Mr. Aizawa is like the best in the underground hero society. Okay, let's just continue. Basically, he tried to tell the heroes and police what happened and why he went into that state, but they did not care or they did not listen to him. So Deku got fed up and just walked away. As his family did try to go to him because he's part of their family. I think I skipped towards the UA entrance exam, so I think I messed up. Sorry, guys. Okay, so Deku is having trouble because he's literally so small and adorable. So, the adorableness will attract a lot of people towards him. So Deku's literally just walked in with his family. He did have trouble getting onto the chair to the point where his brother, aka Shigaraki, had to help him up by lifting him up. And the thing is, Deku helped Shigaraki to the point where he made specialized gloves that help him control his quirk. Kind of the same way how artists have their gloves to help them not ruin or smudge anything on their work on their iPads or digital work. That's what Shigaraki is having on his hands, because that is what he's... You guys get it. So that's how Shigaraki's not disintegrating Deku at the moment. So, boom, Deku gets on the chair. He's having more problems because he needs to get even higher up to the point where his other brother, Dabi, lifts him up to the table because Deku is so small, to the size of an actual small bear or a bear. A small grizzly bear. He does get used to his size, but it does cause problem. So Deku is taking the test like any normal person, but is having trouble. And is having trouble to be quiet because whenever he walks around, there is like a small honking noise whenever he walks. So Imagine that moving around. You see a small teddy bear walking, and you hear a little honk while he's stepping on the floor. And the honk stays with him no matter where he is. Okay, so I talked to. Okay, so I'm guessing where we are at. We are at the robot portion of the exam, since Deku and the SCP-2295 met their idol, Recovery Girl, and Recovery Girl did made a mention to them that they could be part of the nursing program for finding new nurse for UA in just in case in Hero Society. So Deku obviously said yes towards that after finishing the written exam. Now they're going to the physical exam. While on the bus, while he walked towards the physical exam area, he saw Ida standing up and talking to Mr. Zhao how this was unprofessional and having an extra robot on the pan flip, than actually saying it. And Ida does talk to Deku, saying that he should stop that racket. And it's not Deku's fault, there's little squeakers on his feet. Deku tried to say this, but he cannot talk. So Deku gets a little bit mad. But it takes a lot of things to get him mad. So, boom. Deku, after everything is said and done in the actual thing, they go take a bus or walk all the way over there. They're wearing like a type of gym style uniform. Everyone is wearing like something to help them with their quirks. While Deku literally opens his mouth and other people are like looking at us, and he pulls out a pair of scissors from his gaping hole of a mouth, and then a literal pair of needles, as they are razor sharp, to the point where they could slice a person's hand off if he wants it to. And that thing is supposed to cut fabric. That thing is super sharp. As Deku continues trying to walk, but he makes sure to hold the scissors to the point where it faces towards him and not to any potential pedestrians or civilized people. As Deku walks, he does get stopped by Ida, and Ida does tell him that that is not allowed, and he pulls out a piece of paper and hands it towards Ida, as it explains how his quirk works, aka the SCP quirk, quote unquote. And Ida understands it and gives the paper back to him, and saying, "I'll be on my way, goodbye." As Deku literally just... Ida did not get an apology, so Deku is a bit furious at that point. Because Deku feels a bit offended. A bit. So, when President Mike says, "There is no countdowns in a real situation, go, go, go," they all start running, except for Deku because he could only waddle. He tries to run, but it's hard, as he does get a bit furious, puts the scissors away, and gets even more mad. The thing is, during the entire 10 months of training, Deku, in this case, was training how much he can control his angered state, so he could use it to help people in the future. So Deku is trying really hard and goes into that anger state. He could only control it for 5 or 2 minutes at best. 2 minutes at best. 5 is overkilling it. So Deku runs in, like scaring almost anybody, because Deku looks like scary as hell. What they see is a mangled up, sharp teeth teddy bear with patchworks all over, with fake hands and feet placed in his stomach and one of his legs to help him move around. The leg is faced into his leg, but it looks real enough to be confusing to an actual human severed body part. So Deku is running around. The hand is like grabbing at anything it could. The mouth is like so wide that it is terrifying. And I did switch over to Roscoe so you guys could see it. So Deku is like running around as quickly as he can before he has to change back into his adorable state before his time limit goes out. So Deku is running around, destroying 2-pointers, 1-pointers, 3-pointers at best. The 3-pointers are a bit harder than the 2 and 1-pointers. The 1-pointers are super easy. Until he hears rumbling all over the floor. He starts to get worried and he looks around. His time limit is almost up. He has to hurry up and look around what's happening. Until he looks at some kind of tractor and then he saw it was attached to something. As he looked up even more, as his mouth technically dropped towards the floor, as he saw the 0-pointer. His face looked terrified because of how massive it is. As he hears a scream for help, his time limit is going down to freaking 15 seconds that he has left. His time limit already went down from how much time he has worked on to getting his good enough points. As he's running towards the 0-pointer as speed as no one could imagine, as he runs towards Uraraka, he hears the help coming from her. He wants to help her. He goes to help her. He needs to help her. As he runs, he knows his time limit is going down by the second he's running. He needs to go. He needs to save. He runs. He reaches towards Uraraka. He bites down on the rubble that is keeping her trapped. He grabs it and lifts it up with amounts of strength, the same amount as All Might. He lifts it up as quickly as he can and flings it towards the 0-pointer, trying to get its attention and lure it away. He grabs Uraraka by her clothes and flings her on his back. As he runs, he just never let Uraraka let go. He made sure that she is held on tight onto his back, so he runs as fast as he can. He could never let someone fall into the hands of death, or no one can. Because of how many people SCP-2295 helped, there was only one person that he could not save, and that person had an injury to the brain. Deku is trying to save everyone, but during the time they were both speaking, and SCP-2295 did explain what happened, and Deku does not want to let someone go to the fate of that exact same person as entrance to death as someone new to death. So they ran so far away from the 0-pointer. As Deku's time limit is going down to 5 seconds that he has left to stay in that form. If he stays any longer over his time limit, he will go bonkers. He will go crazy. He will try to attack Uraraka and anyone around him. So he has to hurry. He runs. He sees a person with blue hair, with glasses and engines on his calves. He barks at him. Ida looks in fear and sees Deku as this terrifying beast. He sees someone riding upon him. He asks what's happening with her. She said, "I have no clue. I need help." As Deku tosses something at Ida, and Deku lifts something off of him, and Ida sees it and says, "Okay, jump over here, Miss. I will catch you." As she jumps towards Ida, she lands on Ida's shoulders as Deku spins around and runs as fast as he can, and he runs. He doesn't want to let go, as he feels like he's losing his mind right now because how much time he's been spending in that form. He runs. He goes to the 0-pointer. That's when Deku snapped. In this case, that's when Deku runs out of time. He goes bonkers. He goes crazy. He starts biting. He starts chomping. He starts cutting the robot from the legs up. He never let that robot down. He always cut that robot into nothing. From the lower half all the way up to the head. That's how much Deku went so far to destroy that robot. President Mike couldn't even stop the battle. He said, okay, everything's done, while Deku is still destroying it. So they literally had to grab him and pull him down. Okay, guys, I think that's enough.